Thank you very much for a nice introduction about my talk today, mindfulness talk in English. And respected venerable members of the Sangha, Venerable Phophichit, respected Buddhist scholars, distinguished guests, Buddhist fellow practitioners, and my dear Dhamma sisters and brothers from many countries today. Good evening. Before we begin, may I invite all of us together to take a few breaths. Please sit in a way that is upright but not too tense. Relax your body. Feel the body sitting. Feel the contact of the chair or the cushion. Know one breath coming in. Know one breath going out. For a moment, we do not need to become anyone special at the moment. We simply know that we are sitting, we are listening, and we are aware that we are here and now. I would like to invite all of us to cultivate 5 minutes meditations together. Relax your mind and body. Be at the present moment. You can observe the breath, or you can observe the movement of your abdomen. When you breathe in, knowing that the movement of the abdomen is rising. When you breathe out, knowing that the movement of the abdomen is falling. Bring your mind back home. Bring your mind back to this mind and body for 5 minutes. Gently and mindfully open your eyes. And now we are going to spread the loving kindness towards oneself together. Ahang Sukhito Homi. May I be happy. Ahang Nitukho Homi. May I be free from suffering. Ahang Avero Homi. May I be free from enmity. Ahang Apaya Pacho Homi. May I be free from mental and physical harm. Sukhi Attanang Pariharami. May I live peacefully, taking care of myself with ease and well-being. Next, we are going to spread the loving kindness to all beings together. Sapphe satta sukhi hontu. May all living beings subject to birth, aging, illness, and death be happy. Sapphe satta avera hontu. May all beings be free from enmity, ill will. Sapphe satta apaya pacha hontu. May all beings be free from exploiting each other. Sapphe satta anikha hontu. May all beings be free from physical and mental sufferings. Sapphe satta sukhi attanang pariharantu. May all beings live in peace and happily, free from all sufferings and dangers. Sadhu. May I rejoice your merit this evening too.
Excuse me, we cannot hear you back here. Can you turn up the volume?
Yes, just one moment, please. ได้ครับโอเคนะขอบคุณมากค่ะ It is a very great honor for me to be here today, to spend time to cultivate 5 minutes meditation together and share the loving kindness to ourselves and to other beings together. I'm very glad to be invited to give this special mindfulness talk in the topic of the effects of 4 foundations of mindfulness-based interventions on the mind and body. My name is Dr.Nadnapang Phophichit, and I currently serve as the Director of the Research and Development of Innovative Mindfulness and Wellness at the Nibbana Meditation Center, Thailand, and also a guest lecturer at the Faculty of Buddhism, Mahachulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya University. Previously, I served as the director of the certificate program in Mindfulness Master, and I'm very happy to see some of the previous students in my course attending here today. And at the same time, I would like to humbly share that I myself, also a practitioner and a student of the Buddha. My work and my research are inspired by this lifelong training to learn the Dhamma, to practice the Dhamma, and to share the Dhamma in the ways that many people would benefit it. And my work stands at the meeting points of 2 streams. The first one, pariyatti, or the study part. To study and understand the Buddha's teaching, and patipatti. Patipatti is the direct practice of the Dhamma through vipassana meditation. I do not see these two as separate. Pariyatti and patipatti both give an understanding and allow us to understand and realize this mind and body as they truly are. Research, when done humbly, can support both streams by helping us communicate the benefits of the practice across the cultures and institutions. But research alone cannot liberate or free the mind. For the freedom of the mind or the liberation of the mind, the Dhamma must be practiced directly. So tonight, I would like to speak not only as the Buddhist scholar or a researcher, but also as a practitioner and as a person who has seen how mindfulness changed people's life, including my own life. I will share the meaning of the 4 foundations of mindfulness, the structure of the FFMBI, the findings from my research in Thailand and in European countries, and most importantly, how each of us can begin practicing in a practical way. I hope that by the end of my talk this evening, you will not leave only with information. I hope you leave with confidence to practice. Even one moment of true mindfulness can begin to change the direct of a life. So why is this topic? Why these topics matters today? Let us begin with the question that all of us have certainly experienced it, which is stress. When stress enters our life, where does it appear first? For you, anybody, does it appear first in your mind or does it appear first in your body? Body. Sometimes it appears in the body, tight shoulders, shallow breathing, tired eyes, poor sleep, painful stomach, or heavy chest. Or sometimes it appears as feeling pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Sometimes it appears as the state of mind, like worry, sadness, irritation, fears, restlessness, dullness, or confusion. And sometimes it appears as a whole pattern of the Dhamma for you to experience, like craving, aversion, clinging, doubt, the 5 hindrances, or the repeated story of I, me, or mine. The Buddha's teaching is very practical here. The Buddha did not ask us to escape this body when we feel stress or when we feel suffer. He did not ask us to suppress the feeling either. He did not ask us to pretend that our mind is okay, always calm. He taught us to know the body as body, feeling as feeling, mind as mind, and the phenomena as phenomena. This is the heart of Satipatthana, the 4 foundations of mindfulness. It is both very ancient and very modern at the same time. Ancient because it comes from the Buddha's direct path, and modern because the human being of today still suffers through the body and through the mind, through the feeling and through the mental phenomena. All of us still experience this nowadays. Our technology changes, but the craving still arises. Our city change, but fear still arises. Our communication becomes faster, but the wisdom does not become faster unless it is cultivated. Many people today look for mindfulness because they want stress reduction, they want better sleep, better emotional balance, or mental clarity. These are meaningful benefits. But in the Buddhist tradition, mindfulness is not merely a relaxation tool. Mindfulness is a path of clear seeing, to see things as they really are, so we don't attach to them. It reveals the impermanence, anicca, unsatisfactoriness, dukkha, and it is unable to control, anatta. Many things, if you can experience in your life, you will experience the three characteristics of the universal laws, which is things always change. It is unsatisfactoriness and is not in our control. And this is why the four foundation of mindfulness is very powerful. They do not ask us to believe first. They ask us to observe. Our main duty as the practitioner is to observe. Are you a good observer of your mind and body? Or are you a good observer of others? We usually like to observe others because observing our own mind and body is so boring. It's nothing that we would like to see in our mind and body. So when we observe other people, it's so much fun to see what they are doing, what are they thinking, how would they think about me, about you, about other things, right? And so our main duty is to be a good observer, but to our own mind and body mainly. What is happening in the body? What is the feeling tone that is present right now? What is the condition of the mind? And what is the phenomena that you are experiencing? When this observation becomes continuous, the mind begins to understand the reality for itself. So tonight I will speak about the effects on mind and body. I will speak in two languages. One is the language of the Dhamma, mindfulness, clear comprehension, concentration, wisdom, insight, and liberation. The other is the language for research studies. Stress scores, mindfulness questionnaires, anxiety, well-being, self-compassion, brain waves ratios, body compositions, and participants' experience. These two languages can support each other, and the Dhamma gives depth and direction. Research gives way to communicate carefully with university, scholars, event, health fields, and international communities, but in living truth is always found in the practice. So what is FFMBI? I give it a short abbreviation. FF comes from Four Foundation. MBI, Mindfulness-Based Intervention. So usually in the West, they propose mindfulness-based intervention. But in Theravada Buddhism, Satipatthana Sutra, we practice four foundations. We cannot omit this practice. These four foundations include the body. You can bring mindfulness just from observing your body, as we did in the beginning of the session. You observe your breath. The breath is considered as body. Your stomach, the movement. When you bring awareness and mindfulness at the present moment, you are already observing the body at the present moment. Your mind is not wandering in the future or worry in the past. You can bring your mind back to the present moment by just observing the body. That is what we call Kayanupassana Satipatthana, the contemplation of the body. And the second is the contemplation of feelings, Vedananupassana Satipatthana. There are three types of feelings. First, pleasant feeling, second, unpleasant, and third, indifferent feeling, or neither pleasant nor unpleasant. That we experience in our daily life. And when you feel happy, we also need to observe the happiness. When we feel sad, we also have to observe the sadness. Why? Because we want to gain the wisdom from the practice. You can see when you feel happy, you want it to last longer. But when we feel sad, we want it to go away quickly. And then you suffer because it doesn't act the way you want. So even happiness or sadness, if we are a good observer, you will see the cause of happiness. Also, the moment when it stays and the passing away. You cannot even cling to happiness. As same as suffering or sadness, it is the same character. It is the same character. Next is the contemplation of the mind, Cittanupassana Satipatthana. You need to be able to observe if your mind is covering with anger or not anger, for example, greedy or not greedy, or if delusion or not delusion, for example. And the last one, the contemplation of the mental objects or Dhammanupassana Satipatthana. We observe all the phenomena that come through your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your bodily sensation, and your mind. Basically, we have 6 doors in our body. We experience things because we have this Dvara in Pali. We call doors. The first door is the eyes. You perceive things, and once you perceive, it doesn't stop there. It goes through your mind. It becomes like or dislike. And when it becomes like or dislike, you want it more, or you feel angry when you see something. It generated the rebirth or the samsara, and it makes you react to it. And in order to cut the circle, we need to practice mindfulness. That's what I'm talking today. So, this is the mechanism of the 4 foundations of mindfulness. The mechanism, as you can see, the 4 foundations of mindfulness is the structured way of teaching and vipassana meditation based on satipatthana. As you can see, the mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of emotions, mindfulness of thoughts, and mindfulness of phenomena. I would like to emphasize one point that FFMBI is not a new Dhamma, is not a new model. It is not an attempt to replace the Buddha's teaching. It is a research and educational model that helps us preserve the structure of the 4 foundations of mindfulness while making it teachable, measurable, and adaptable across the cultures. In Buddhist education, we often speak of pariyatti, patipatti, and pativeda. Pariyatti is learning the teaching. Patipatti is the practice of the teaching, and pativeda is the realization or the fruits of the practice. In FFMBI, we try to bring pariyatti, the study part, patipatti, the practice part, together. We explain the 4 foundations clearly, and then we practice walking meditation, sitting meditation, mindful eating, mindful daily activities, phenomena reflection, Dhamma talks, and meditation interviews in our program. And the 4 foundations of this training is also the threefold training, including Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Sila is morality or ethical disciplines to protect the mind from regret and restlessness and to conduct the unwholesome deeds. Samadhi or concentration gathers the mind to give it stability. And Panya or the wisdom see things as they truly are. And in the mechanism of FFMBI, mindfulness observes the four foundations of experience. First, body. You can see in the body part, it is divided into four elements: earth, water, fire, air. Our body is considered as our body comprised of these four elements. If one element is missing, we cannot live. If the air element is missing from your body, we die, right? So our body is the composition of the earth. What is the earth in our body? Can you tell me? Anything that's heavy in your body is the earth, like the bone, the skin, the earth, for example. And what about water? Saliva, for example. The blood, something like this, is water. Fire, you can experience when you eat food. Your body uses the fire to digest the food. And in my research, I also measure the metabolic age of the practitioner when they attend 7 days meditation retreat. I will tell you about the details and the result of the measurement. And the air or the wind. So, of course, the breeze, the breath, and also we cannot move our body without air element. When we lift our hand, when we walk, is from the air element. Emotions, now you can see that it can be like, dislike, or neutral. The thought can be wholesome and unwholesome. Phenomena, for example, the 5 hindrances, the aggregates, khandha 5, or the sense, the information that you perceive to the 6 sense doors. I will explain to you in the next slide. And through repeated observation, concentration becomes stronger. If you observe when you do one thing at a time, I'm not sure nowadays, do you do multitask, many things at a time? But if you can practice in daily life, do one thing at a time, you can increase your concentration. Like you are listening now, no playing with your phone, right? Some people having dinner and use the phone at the same times. The mind is not concentrated. And if you repeat the observation, you will gain higher concentration. And what is the function of concentration? When you get concentration, it will give rise to the wisdom for you to see things clearly. Because we don't seem to see our mind and body clearly because we do many things at the same time. We don't know what we feel. We don't know when we perform one thing at a time. It maybe you want to save time, but it doesn't give a better result. So when your concentration is higher, the mind can see the continuity of the change. And the wisdom brings to understand the 3 characteristics: experiencing the things that is always changing, experience the unsatisfactoriness because you don't want it to change. You feel suffer if you like something and it change. And we experience the uncontrollable things. You can see that it's not in our control. And when you gain this kind of wisdom to see these things again and again with this understanding, the mind will understand the reality more deeply and your mind can be free from everything. But we need practice. This is the transformation FFMBI aims to support. It is the movement from automatic reaction to mindful response, from confusion to clear knowing, from clinging to release, from suffering to wisdom. And when mindfulness is weak, a sound or a word or a memory or a pain can become the problem or my problem, because it's not just the phenomena, it becomes mine, so we suffer. My anger, my failure, my fear. But when mindfulness is strong, the same experience can be known as body. Body is just the body. My legs experiencing pain. Pain is just pain. Pain is not me. I am just observing the pain, like this. You can experience the body as the body, feeling as feeling, the mind as the mind, and phenomena as phenomena. And pain is known as the pain. Anger is just anger. Thinking is known as thinking. And the mind no longer has built a prison out of every passing event, because eventually everything will pass. So we will not cling or we will not attach to those feelings or those phenomena. So this is why the four foundations of mindfulness are not abstract. It is the doorway to freedom. We need to walk this path. We need to practice. And I would like to explain. In Buddhism, we have the terms called arammana. Arammana means the basis, starting points for producing, initiating activity, footing, basis of meditation, object of consideration or sense object. It is the object for the mind to be known. So basically, everything for the mind to know is called arammana. Let me show you more explanation. And in the first row, you can see what we call the vara. The vara is 6 sense doors. Internal sense bases, including the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind. So we have our doors open all the time to perceive things. But do you have the security guard at the door? We let everything in, right? We let everything in. When we go to the department store or in Thailand, the condominium or the park, we always have security guard screening people before coming in. We always have our doors open, welcoming everything without screening, right? Especially the smartphone. Who in this room use TikTok? Do you know TikTok? Yes. Yes, very fast, and we perceive a lot of information. And these are the doors for the first row. And next, we have what is called 6 external sense bases, including visible object, sound, odor, taste, touch, and mental objects. So when we have internal sense bases with external sense bases, if only 2, it doesn't work. you need one more thing, which is called sensory consciousness, vinyana. In Buddhism, we have eye consciousness that perceive the visible objects through the eyes. So these are the three elements. When it come in contact together, we will perceive the information through our mind. We have ear consciousness to perceive the sound through the ear. We have nose consciousness to perceive the odor or the smells through the nose. Tongue consciousness to perceive the taste through the tongue. Bodily consciousness to perceive the feeling that come through your body. And the mind consciousness to perceive the mental phenomena known by the mind. And when these three elements are together, it become in contact. We call phassa. Phassa in English means contact. And once it is contact together, it leads to the feeling. When you see something, can you just stop at seeing, or it already feel something quickly? If it means something to you, it will turn to like or dislike. But if it's nothing, maybe it's neutral. So that's three types of feelings, right? So when phassa occur, it will lead to feelings or vedana. And vedana is cetasika. Cetasika is the Pali term which means the mental factor which accompanies consciousness or citta and experience the object. So when the feeling occurs, it will lead to two ways, either craving, tanha, or wisdom. My question is, what is the factor that will lead to craving, or what is the factor that will lead to wisdom? What is the mediator? After the feeling occurs, will it turn to craving or will it turn to wisdom? Yes. Attachment. Mm-hmm.
It's determined by a past.
Determined by a past. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very interesting answer. Thank you very much. So once it becomes feeling, here we need what is called wise attention or yoniso manasikara. Wise attention to observe. Remember, to observe the feeling. If it doesn't end here, it will turn to craving. You want it more. Or you will want to get rid of it. It becomes suffering. And if you want it and you don't get it, it's also suffering. But once we have yoniso manasikara or wise attention to observe these phenomena, now you gain wisdom. Feeling is just the feeling. It's appear now. It's so strong. I will observe it until it disappears. Then it disappears now. I don't want to react upon it. So the three types of feelings or vedana, pleasant feelings, it can be divided into two types. The first one, bodily pleasure, we call happiness or sukha vedana. The second type is mental happiness or joy. It's called somanasa vedana. And the painful feeling, the bodily pain, discomfort, we call dukkha vedana. Mental pain or displeasure or grief, we call domanasa vedana. And the third type is indifferent feelings, neither pleasant nor painful feeling, adukkama sukha vedana. And all of these three types of feelings lead to craving. Craving means tanha. So Tanha or craving is the chief root of all suffering and of the ever continuing cycle of rebirth. And in the sutra, the Buddha said that, oh, what monks, is the origin of suffering. It is that craving which give rise to ever, sorry, which gives rise to ever fresh rebirth and bound up with pleasure and lust. Now here, now there, finds ever fresh delight. It is the sensual craving, kama tanha, through our bodily sensation. We craving good feeling and craving for existence. We want to be someone, we want to be something, bhava tanha, and the craving of non-existent, vibhava tanha. And for the craving, it is corresponding to this sixth sense object or aramana that I mentioned earlier. There are six kinds of craving from visible objects. Rupa tanha. Yes, when we see something and we like it, we crave it, we want to see again. Good thing, it can be a good thing, or it can be someone we love, someone we attach to, or something. And craving for sound, sattha tanha, like music. If you like to hear some voices, woman voice, man's voice that comfort you, that make you feel happy, you want to hear it again. And craving for taste, rasa tanha. We crave the sensation when we eat food. It's delicious, it's tasty. So next week we will go to this restaurant again. It causes us to take action. It's called tanha. Because we like it, we will take action, or we don't like it, we also take action. Like this, it's become circle. Because of the tongue, we go there, right? This door lead us to another action, like this. And craving for physical contact, potappa tanha. We like the comfortable feeling, our skin, someone who hug us, or the aircon is very comfortable. We like the good temperature while you are in Thailand. Do you like the weather here, right? I think many like the weather here. You don't have 4 seasons in Europe that you have to prepare a lot of jackets and the clothes and the shoes. In Thailand, one weather, one type of clothes is enough. You can wear a short, wear slipper, anywhere. So we are craving for physical contact. Maybe we craving nice weather. That's why we come to Thailand, like this. And craving for mental impression, dhamma tanha, the phenomena that you experience. For example, some meditator, they meditate and they experience the bliss, jhana, happiness, deep absorption, and want it again, want it again. And if they cannot get it, they become angry, like this. And these 3 types of tanha lead to suffering. And how can we deal with the mind and body that we have? How can we be free? We can fully experience, but we can be truly happy because we observe it as the phenomena, both mind and body. So we can practice through what is called Kayanupassana Satipatthana. Kayanupassana Satipatthana, or the contemplation of the body. And in the Satipatthana Sutra, mindfulness in the body include breathing, breathing in, breathing out, the posture, how many posture it's not very clear. So there are four main postures, as you can see maybe here. So humans were designed to be able to walk. First posture, sit. What else? Stand and lying down, right? So we can bring mindfulness through all of these postures that we can do. And we have clear comprehension in daily activities. Clear comprehension means sampachanya. Sampachanya means knowing what you are doing. Sampachanya. And reflection on the body part. Contemplation of elements like the four elements, dhatu, and chemistry contemplation. And in our FFMBI model, we especially emphasize three bodily contemplations, which is the direct practice for vipassana meditation. And what are they? The first one is called Iriyapatapapa. Iriyapatapapa, it means you bring the awareness to these four main postures in your daily life. Standing, knowing that you're standing. Walking, knowing that you're walking. Sitting, knowing that you're sitting. Lying down, knowing that you're lying down. This is one of the methods that we practice in FFMBI. And the second one is Sampachanya Papa. Sampachanya Papa is clear comprehension. Clear comprehension or clear mindfulness. For example, we know what we are doing while we are doing it. Going forward, returning, looking, bending our arm, stretching, eating food, drinking, speaking, remaining silent. All can become practice. For lay people with busy lives, this point is very important. You may not always have many hours for formal meditation, like joining the retreat that I did for the research project, but we recommend the practitioner to gain mindfulness and collect mindfulness through this comprehension to their daily activities. Mindful telephoning, only call a person and not driving and calling, or do one thing at a time, and you can collect the clear comprehension of mindfulness. And when mindfulness or sati is collected, it's like you put the money in the bank and it will become concentration. The more we collect mindfulness, the more concentration you have. And when you have concentration, it's like the water in this glass. If it's not stable, you cannot see clearly what is inside. But once it's stable, you can see clearly the color, what is inside, that is concentration. Stableness is concentration. See clearly is wisdom. Now you can see what are inside, what are the character of it, and no need to cling at all because phenomena will disappear anyway. But we need concentration first in order to gain the wisdom. And the contemplation of the element is the third method that we practice in FFMBI. Contemplation of the element means we observe bodily experience in terms of earth, water, fire, and the wind. So solidity, cohesion of temperature. For example, when you walk, when you move, lifting, you move your foot from the ground, lifting, moving, placing. The movement is just the air, it's not you. It's the air. There is no you in the movement. And when your feet touch the ground, it's hard, it's hot. It's the earth and the fire, it's not you. It's just the element. And if you continue practice this method, we will little by little become selfless because we see that oh, it's just the elements and the experience as the elements. It's not me. It's just the elements. And when somebody hurts you or scroll you or speak bad to you, they're talking to the elements, not me. No need to get angry. And they are also the elements. What they speak is just the air, contacting to the ear, no interpretation. Hearing, 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 and disappear. It's just the sound. It's just us who give the meaning, and it's us who cling to the self that they talk bad about me. So I feel suffer. But the air already disappeared. The sound, the air from that mouth. But you carry the meaning to you and hurt yourself instead of letting it go. But we need to practice in order to be skillful. If you are skillful in life, you can be so free. So this is the method of Dhatu Manasikara Papat that we practice in FFMBI. The water, when we practice walking meditation, if your feet touch the ground and sometimes it's very sticky and you feel the sweat under your feet, that is water. Water is appearing, but most of the time, do you observe any water coming out of your body? Yeah. So if we fully be with our mind and body, we can observe this element all day. But because we have such a busy schedule and maybe we observe other people more than ourselves, so we don't get this kind of wisdom. The wisdom needs to be collected through mindfulness and concentration to see things as they are. So when we walk and then our feet stuck to the ground and very sticky, that is water element. And some people, when they practice meditation, the tears come down. And they ask what happened, what's wrong. But actually, it's just the water showing, the element is showing. It's just the element. No need to be frightened. The meditation master will give you advice. That's why when we practice in the retreat or formal meditation, we always need to practice with the master, meditation master, because you need to give your experience, to report your experience to the master, and they will help you progress with your practice. And after you have joined the retreat, then you can be on your own, because now you get the methods, you know how to practice, you know how to maintain the practice in your daily life. But first off, you need to get the guidance from the good teacher in a formal meditation. Okay. And next, Vedana Nupassana Satipatthana. Vedana means feeling tone. Every experience has feeling tone. For example, pleasant, unpleasant, or neither pleasant nor unpleasant. For example, now I am experiencing this room full of the very nice audience, so I'm experiencing present. I feel present. And the feeling is the bridge between the contact and the craving. If you remember the mechanism that I showed you earlier, because I contact, my eyes see the audience. And I crave, maybe next time I want to come back and give mindfulness talk again, because I crave. Because I think it's beneficial, I feel happy, so it will create my action. But it's a wholesome action, so it will not make you feel it's different from unwholesome action. Seeing things can be a good cause of good action as well. So here the feeling lead to, the contact lead to craving. And we see something, hear something, remember something, and feeling arises. If the feeling is present, craving may say, I want more. If unpresent, aversion may say, I want this to disappear. If neutral feeling occur, ignorance may say, I do not care, like this. And mindfulness of feeling cut this process early. Because when we practice mindfulness, we try to stop here. I show you. From this, we try to stop at contact between it leads to feeling. When we practice in the retreat, we use no telephone. We practice noble silence. It means we don't talk for 7 days, for example. And you will allow to talk with the master when you report your experience. And so you will be fully with your mind and body to observe all of this. And you will see, once it's in the contact, you will be more skillful to practice to cut this circle from contact before it leads to feelings. That is very skillful. For example, seeing, when you see something, you just contemplate and mentally note seeing, seeing, seeing. And when you note seeing, 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 it cuts before it go to the feeling how. The way it cut is that your mind is now focused more on the seeing, seeing, seeing phenomena. So it will not interpret what will go through your mind. So you cut already one samsara, one circle. Hearing, when you hear something, somebody is talking to you, maybe talk behind your back, 1 meters away, 10 meters away. If your name appear and you hear it, maybe you want to know what are they talking about. But if you contemplate hearing, and no need to know anymore. It's not my business, so let it be. Like you use the mindfulness of contemplation to cut through the feeling. It will not interpret the perception of your sensation yet. So you cut it like this very quickly, and you become skillful, and your mind is free. Okay, and then we are going to talk about Citta-nupassana Satipatthana. So Citta-nupassana means the contemplation of the mind, and here we learn to know the mind as it is. The mind is the mind with greed or free from greed, with hatred or free from hatred, with delusion or free from delusion, concentrated or distracted, developed or undeveloped, liberated or not liberated. This practice requires honesty, and because you need to practice with not self-judgment. We are not saying I am a bad person because anger is present. Anger is anger. We are human and we are experiencing the human being phenomena. We can still be angry. It doesn't mean we are a bad person. And for example, we are not saying I am a failure because the mind is distracted. It should not be like that, because it's the nature of the mind. We can experience anything, but our main duty is to observe and to know. And the difference is small in language, but the enormous is in the practice. When we identify the mind state, suffering increases. When we know the mind state as condition, the wisdom will arise. For scholars, this is also a powerful point. We may understand many doctrines intellectually, but when the mind is angry, can we know the anger as anger? Right? We can be good at many things, but are we quick enough to be able to know when anger is coming, and being able to observe before reacting upon the feeling that you are experiencing. When the mind is proud, can we know pride as pride? When the mind is peaceful, can we know peaceful mind without clinging to it? And the laboratory of Buddhist psychology is this very mind. You have your own laboratory. This is your one and only and the biggest classroom. Is your mind and body. You don't need to go to anywhere to search the truth. It's already here for you to observe. And for the Dhammanupassana Satipatthana, or mindfulness of the phenomena, it is the foundation. In this foundation, experience is understood through important categories of the Buddha's teaching in 5 hindrances, for example, 5 aggregates, the 6 internal and external sense bases, the 7 factors of enlightenment, the 4 noble truths, and the noble eightfold path. This is where practice becomes very precise. For example, if restlessness is present, we know it is restlessness. If doubt is present, we know it is as doubt. If mindfulness, investigation, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration, or equanimity is present, we know it too. We are learning the grammar of suffering and the grammar of liberation. And the 6 sense bases are especially useful, like the doors, the eyes and visible object, the ear and sound, nose and smell, the tongue and the taste, the body and the touch, the mind and the mental object. And from this, contact arises. With contact, feeling arises. When with unwise attention, craving arises. But with mindfulness and wisdom, the same contact can become a doorway to insight, to the wisdom for you to see, as I explained earlier, that we practice in the FFMBI. And this is why mindfulness is not passive. Some people think, oh, we sit, we close our eyes, we are being passive. But it's not passive, it is active. You are actively observing, actively aware. You are training your mind to be skillful. It is not passive. It is clear comprehension of experience in a way that leads away from greed, hatred, delusion, and toward the freedom, liberation. And the 4 foundations together form a complete training that I did in the research. And body grounds us, feeling reveals the beginning of the reaction. The mind shows the present condition of consciousness, and the phenomena reveals the pattern that blind or liberate us. And next, I'm going to be showing the research evidence of the effects on mind and body. Now let us turn to the research. And I will share several studies, but I will do so carefully because research on meditation is promising, but it must be presented with humility. Many studies are pilot studies from my project. Some of the project does not have control group. We do the single group pre and post test because we have some limitation. We have some limitation of the participants. We cannot find the sample group and the control group, so we have to decide carefully. And some research, the sample size are still small. Some outcomes are self-reported, and these limitations do not make the finding meaningless, but they tell us how to interpret the finding responsibility. and how to design the better studies in the future. So this is the first study back in 2024, 7 days FFMBI retreat in Thailand, and we measure the effects of 4 foundation of mindfulness-based intervention on salivary cortisol levels, body composition, the heart rate and the pulse rate, and also the brain waves of the practitioner. So this is the program. And who here has joined a full retreat before, minimum of 7 days? Yes. Oh, very nice. Thank you. Yes, so basically you have followed this schedule already and at the exact place. So the first study was conducted in Chonburi province, Thailand. It's called Wat Patanta Asaparam in Chonburi. And the meditation schedule starts from 3:30 a.m. Can you wake up at 3:30? Maybe the monk can. Carol already you did. So because we take the mobile phone from all the participants, we need to use the wake up bell at the temple to wake them up. So we start at 3:30, and then each participant has their separate residence. They sleep one person, one room, no telephone, but we give them the alarm clock. And then they have to walk to the meditation hall and start practicing at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. And then we have breakfast at 6:30, and during breakfast time we also have to contemplate on eating. Eat mindful eating. Meditation master advice practitioner to eat at the minimum of 30 minutes. How long do you take when you eat food? 10 minutes or 5 minutes is 10 minutes maximum maybe. So when we practice in the retreat, we bring mindfulness in all of our movement as much as we can. It's called comprehension or sampachanya. So when you touch the spoon, knowing that you touch the spoon, you taking the food off the plate, you see the food, you take the food in your mouth, you open your mouth, you put the food in the mouth, you taste what is the sensation of the taste, you start to chew the food, chewing like this, chewing maybe 30 times, chewing until the food become unpleasant for you to taste, because now you learn about the taste. First it's delicious, and then when it become watery in your mouth, it's not what you want anymore. And then you swallow it down and take again. This is the job, do the job. Actually all day you have the job to do, right? It's not that you went to the temple and you have no job. This is very long hours working through the whole day. You think you maybe go to temple to leave your job, but actually you have more job to do, which is accumulating the mindfulness through your activities. And some people practice the food, they reflect something. For example, gratitude. They feel gratitude when they eat food. They feel thankful. Those people are preparing the food in front of them, and the food is delicious. All of these objects are present in front of you, and then they reflect. They feel more gratitude towards their parents. Oh, now I'm at the temple. I have good food. What about my whole life? My parents give me food when I was young without me asking. They feel gratitude, and they have a better relationship when they go back home as well. So many benefits. And we start breakfast at 6:30, and then come back to the meditation hall and practice at 8:30, and then we start to have lunch at 10:30. Why so early? 10:30. What time do you have lunch? Noon. Exactly 12 at noon. Some people maybe late lunch, like 1 or 2 p.m. But we started at 10:30 because it takes around maybe 30 minutes to walk from the meditation hall to the dining hall. We walk slowly, step by step, walking, lift, not lifting, but right, go, trust, walking like this outside of the meditation. Might be mindful of every step. So we start walking at 10:30 and we reach the meditation dining hall around 11. And then we start eating. And in Buddhist tradition, if you want to live a monastic life, we eat 2 meals a day, and it's very healthy according to the research. Yes, I will show you the result. And so we eat at 6:30, and then the last meal is at 11, not afternoon. And then we continue to practice from 1 to 9 p.m. in the meditation hall. And during the session, we have Dhamma talk. We also have the meditation interview session where you report your experience to the meditation master. And then he will give you advice how to improve the practice. Sometimes the beginners start from 30 minutes, and then when 2 or 3 days pass, they will upgrade to 45 minutes and maximum 1 hour. And then you shift between sitting 1 hour and walking 1 hour along the session throughout the day. Okay, I think we have around 15 more minutes, so I'm gonna show you the picture and wrap up for today. So for the first project, pre-meditation measurement, so we measure saliva cortisol test, body composition analysis, blood pressure and heart rate, brainwave measurement by EEG, and stress test. Each person took around 25 to 30 minutes per person, pre-meditation and post-meditation. And this was the picture of the research project. We opened for the registration. We can accept only 30 people, but around 65 people register. But we have to carefully select and cut half because of the budget, because we have to support, sponsor the checkup. We collaborate working with the medical technology faculty laboratory at Mahidol University for this project. You can see the tube. Nowadays, we can measure cortisol levels through your saliva, like when you test with the COVID-19. But for the cortisol test, you have to put the object in your mouth around 2 minutes to fully cover with your saliva, and then we put it in the tube. And in America, they can measure the cortisol through your hair. But in Thailand, we don't have that available yet in the laboratory that we can use for research. And we can measure through your blood as well. So this is the sample of the saliva. And we also measure the body composition and the brain wave. This is one of the participants who turned to be the most happiest guy in the retreat. Can you guess how old he is? 70, 60, 80. He's 64 years old, right? Before joining the meditation retreat, he was 64 years old with the real age. And when we measure his metabolic age, can you guess what was his age? Like the yes? 40. Oh, anyone? 35. So his real age was 64, but in the body composition analysis, his metabolic age was 40. He was very young. His body is younger than his actual age. And I asked him, I call him uncle. Uncle, can you tell me, oh, what did you do? Why you're so healthy? He said, oh, I did cycle every day. Cycling. Yes. And then, okay, let's wait for 7 days after you join the retreat. Let's see what happened. So after 7 days, now can you guess what happened to him? After 7 day meditation retreat with 2 meals a day, staying alone, no speaking, no telephone. 38. Yeah, very close. So his metabolic age decreased from 40 to 39. So you can reduce your metabolic age just in 7 days, just for him, for this case. And he was very happy. And now he go back, maybe tell his wife at home, now I'm younger. Like this. Okay, so this is one example. And what did we do at the temple? We did the bowing, meditation, prostration. And in Buddhist tradition, we will pay homage to the triple gems 3 times. And those who are non-Buddhist can also practice this. It's like bringing your awareness to the movement of your hands and your palm, and you bending down is like the yoga practice as well. So you bring mindfulness to your movement. Some practitioner takes 30 minutes for 3 bows. Very, very slow. Lifting, touching, bending, like this. Slowly. We do things slowly so we can see things more clearly. Okay, and can you recognize me there? Yes, I also joined the retreat as the researcher. I also practice with them. And on the last day, the medical team came to the temple and measured everything again. The brain wave and the saliva cortisol levels. And this is the result according to the blood pressure result. Nothing changed significantly because when we recruit the participants, everyone was healthy. 7 days doesn't change anything for the healthy people. And what's significant that we found was, of course, the weight. So if you want to lose 1 kilogram in 7 days, this is a very effective way. Do you want to follow this schedule? It is confirmed significant. 7 days, 1 kg. And not only that, you can see the BMI is decreasing significantly, and also the percentage of obesity. Not only decrease, but minus. Okay, and about the stress level, the blue is before and the orange color is after. So stress decrease, and the score of the EEG brainwave that we use alpha and beta to represent the level of mental relaxation also increase. And this is the example of a very amazing case that we found of one practitioner. You can see the blue color represent the brainwave before 7 days practice, and the red colors represent after 7 days of practice. So if you see the score from the x-axis 0 to 600, it means we ask them to sit for 10 minutes. And then you can see from the beginning, the blue color still low score. It means they are thinking, worrying, monkey minds, thinking, and they can get the high score nearly at 10 minutes. You can see the peak of the blue color nearly at the end. But after 7 days meditation, he or she become very skillful. You can see at the beginning of the graph, not even 30 seconds. It takes him or her just maybe 10 seconds to sit down and already relax. That is very skillful. It takes shorter time and can maintain the mental relaxation for longer period. You can see the red graph peak many times, right? So the mental relaxation by the alpha and beta ratio show that 7 days meditation training, you can become very skillful. You can become very skillful. And this is the next project that we did with international students at our college in Mahachulalongkorn University. We divided the students into two groups. The first group who participated 15 days meditation, and second group is 30 days meditation. This is what we usually do at our university. If you enroll in master degree, you have to practice 30 days in order to graduate. If you enroll for doctoral degree, you have to practice 45 days in order to graduate. It is compulsory in our curriculum. And for the mindfulness master certificate program, 15 days. So some of the audience today already passed that 15 days meditation retreat. Okay. And we also initiate the project in a European country. So I went to present the Brainwave project in Hungary, and we have MOU with the Dhammaket Buddhist College, which is the only one Buddhist college in European country. In Thailand, we have two Buddhist university, Mahachulalongkorn University and Mahamongkut Buddhist University. But across European countries, there is only one Buddhist college. And we collaborate the research project together in 2025. And we use FFMBI to measure the mental well-being of the Hungarian practitioners. First time we went there in November 2004, and we arranged 3-day meditations. Of course, they cannot fully engage in the retreat, that they have to stay at the college and be fully retreat. So we open for those who are interested to come and go back for 3 days. We do the pariyatti, we teach, and then in the second session we practice for 3 days. And these are some of the pictures of the meditation center in Hungary, Dhammaket Buddhist College. So first we lead the chanting. And then give the questionnaire measurement. And the meditation master will give the lecture about how to practice and about the 4 foundations of mindfulness that I have already explained to you earlier. And then we start walking and sitting meditation together. A lot of participants are interested in the practice. And just for only 3 days, we found that the observing score is increasing. And also non-reactivity is increasing. Now they learn that, how to observe the phenomena, how not to react to the phenomena, such as pain on their legs, pain on their back, or the feeling of boring, irritated. Just observe it and then it disappears. They are learning to be skillful just in 3 days, but this is not a very high score, but it's significant in 3 days. And next project, we collaborated another retreat, which was conducted for 7 days. So this was the second project in 2025. And this is the overall picture that we now relocate them from the campus to the meditation retreat center. Okay, and what we found for 7 days was that the well-being score is increasing and the depression, anxiety, and stress is decreasing. Also, the mindfulness level is increasing and the compassion is increasing. And recently, I have to close in maybe 5 minutes, so I would like to also share with you what I have been doing recently. We are forming what is called Global Vipassana Network. And recently we have signed with the 4 institutions, including Thailand Meditation Center in Thailand, Nibbana Meditation Center, where I am also contribute as the director of the research and development part. And also we signed the MOU with the Association of Hispania, the Buddhismo in Spain, and also the meditation center in Czech Republic. It's called International Transformation Academy and the International Meditation Mindfulness Center in Japan. And next year, starting in March, we are going to start the retreat in Japan, followed by Hungary, and then followed by Spain, Czech Republic. So if you are interested in the program, and some of our audience or practitioner or students, they also follow to go to the retreat last year as well for 2 countries. You are welcome to join us. You can visit this one, the website. I will show you just briefly. You can search globalvipassana.org. We will keep updating the retreat. Okay. Yes, so I think I'm very thankful to be invited today, and I would like to end my talk today. Thank you very much.